My friend Sam said you're very cute.
What?
Just hey everybody, welcome back to the final episode of the Wild at Heart. So we're gonna be here. I'll just show you. So I was wrong about the final two achievements. One of them, I believe, right over here. Pretty random, not gonna lie. It's not talking to everybody like I thought it would be, like exhausting all the dialogue. So that's good. So that seems like really tedious. Probably the hardest one right here. There you go, nature bath. That's the hidden achievement. It's just us standing right here and looking at the waterfall. Oh yeah. And now the other one. I don't even know why I'm collecting. I don't need to collect it anymore. I'm free. I'm free. The other one's pretty wacky too. Alright, this will be it. Goal! Kick something into the stash. Well, that's it, man. I did all the achievements. We done it. 100%ed. 29 out of 29, baby. Oh yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna end the series off by me reading all the chapter pages. Let's do it at the Grove one last time, man. Sorry, I skipped all the gossip. This seemed like a lot, and it's one of those things I should have done while I was playing the story. But we'll do it. We'll try and make amends by reading the lost journal pages. But in my defense, those two curse a lot, and I don't. I try not to curse, especially in the videos. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at these guys one more time. Twigling, Emberling, Shiverling, Barbling, Lunaling. It was an honor working with you fellas. Alright, they call it book. Um, the ensorcelled missive of the Hermetic Order of the Verdant Shield. My charge, as they so ceremoniously declare in Snowdonia. The memory of the other green shields have begun to be affected in these latest years. When I refer to its home with its proper, though admittedly more Daedalian name, a foggy look suddenly comes across their faces. I've decided to just tell them to refer as book, which they seem more keen to understand. The book is a primer for my position as a scribe of this chapter of the Deep Woods, filled with base knowledge of all known creatures, entities, and phenomenon magical. I will supplement my copy with entries pertaining to this chapter. Town of Willowvale. Willowvale, the nearby human township, young as of this writing, perhaps 200 individuals according to Theon's latest intelligence from Snowdonia, settlement of logging workers, which we all seem to find quite troubling. The Green Witch has expressed concern that their saws might one day breach the barrier of the deep woods. But once I have to say that I agree. But what measures do we take if that happens? That they are seeing things safely cloistered from them, engaged with the thing meant to be kept from them? She says she has a plan. I'm reluctant to be comforted yet. Deep woods. One thing I never understood, even when prompting the question of my betters in Snowdonia, is why the woods bring in items from the outside world. They simply appear in mounds of piles like trash. Scrappy doesn't seem to mind. Indeed, he's made it his assignment to dissect and repurpose these things. I do like one of his most recent finds, however, a small table that companions the black disc that when spun produces pleasant music. This must be a new invention of the outside world. As they move on, we sit here in warp time. Wonder how long it's been. The master of these woods. The Green Witch is a title bestowed upon an individual, the master of one chapter of the deep woods. Though a process called anointing The individual is given a purpose through ritual magic, assigned as the matron of patron of Deepwood chapter somewhere in the world. Though it's a great honor, it comes with a dire portent. The Green Witch links their souls to the Deepwood's magic, forever tying them to it. After their deaths, they ascend, becoming part of the woods itself, forever watching it. My old friend. Greycoat, my compatriot whom I traveled with from Snowdonia. When we arrived, this chapter was sparse, with only the Green Witch and a few Greenshields tend to the whole wood. I've established myself as the resident scribe, while Greycoat has been assigned the Green Witch's second. I do wish he'll stop whining. As soon as we arrived outside of the grove, Bayfly snatched him by the hem of his coat, and tore it off him, giggling as it took to the air. I've never seen him so cross. Green Witch sold him a new one, just to silence him. But even still, I see him looking down at the replaced coat, shaking his head morosely. Tinker extraordinaire. I don't know how to communicate laughter in a journal entry other than onomatopoeia, so just know that I laugh as I write this. He got his head stuck in a kettle. He drove into a pile of scrap and wedgewood, head first. When he emerged, he thrashing and swearing consternation. Then, after a few moments' struggle with a muffled sigh, seemed to accept that it wasn't coming off. How does one even accomplish such a feat? Alchemist and a magpie. Alchemist comes from Snowdonia. Speak with a magpie. For some reason, they often speak to it, and as far as I can tell, it speaks back. No matter, they are quite talented and keep to themselves mostly. Though, come to think of it, I've never seen them sleep or take off the alchemist garb. Curious. Cat lady. Litter box. We leave her to her felines for the most part. She has little else to offer, I'm afraid, unless shouting nonsense has value. When they're not getting lost, which is most of the time, her cats do sometimes retrieve things from throughout the woods. No one here, not even Fion, seems to know much of her origin. Though a telepathic exercise, however, she said with a look of surprise I've rarely seen cross the Green Witch's face, that the woman is very, very old. The order is something to get used to. The hunter. Our most recent recruit has had the unfortunate luck of encountering Nevergazer near the reef. She has lost an eye, but seemingly not her appetite for the hunt. She was back seeking bounties in a matter of days. I asked her if she likes the company and she balked, like I knew she would. Besides Greycoat, she might be the one I respect most here. The man from the sky. Some days ago, a machine came careening into the woods from the sky, wailing and smoking. Fion let him in, she says so that we could help him. He wears the garb of what I assume is perhaps military, and has suffered an injury from the crash that has moved his ability to speak, although seemingly broken his memory. After the initial shock of learning everything that goes on here, the secrets we keep from this world, and after we were able to convince him to unlock the door at Scrap Pete's cart where he had holed himself up, beginning to take to his situation kindly. Green Witch teaching him an old magical rite that scribes once used to communicate with the other deep woods across the world. We give him a name, and when broached, he grinned and shrugged as he folded another sheet. Paper planes it is. The idiot from Fern Crown. These two, I'm at a loss to understand why they were assigned from Fern Crown, or why they were accepted into the order in the first place. I have little to say other than I placed them off-site from the grove for several reasons. Thus far, on special missions that range from tasks such as finding 12 golden shelter grubs, complete a crown for the Green Witch that definitely won't be made, or gaining the boon of 3 dread hogs and obtaining the teeth of the raccoons. Things which are impossible, of course. But alas, one of them can dance. We're saved. My name is Big Pockets. Suppose while I catalog this chapter of the Order, I should posterity describe myself. I am among those in rarefied air who are not affected by the memory consumption that one undergoes after prolonged proximal exposure to the nether. That is to say, I remember my real name, though after a friend forgot it and gave me a new moniker, I like to go by it. It had quite big pockets. They were a quizzical look while trying to remember. I am described as signed by Snowdonia to this Willowvale chapter of the Deep Woods. My responsibilities are to catalog the events, people, and creatures of the chapter. It is my first assignment from our headquarters, one I am eager to excel at, though I must say some of my assigned compatriots might prove tedious. Stick figures. Anointed in Snowdonia, the Green Witch of the Willowvale chapter. Fionn is her name. She is one of the few who have retained memory of it, though she chooses not to go by it. Stick Figures is her moniker, based on an affinity for creating imbued wars from figures made of, well, sticks. She carves the figures using an anthem, the blade of which is Gibeon, a material from beyond this world. She is kind and soft in voice and manner, though I sense a sadness in her. I think it is likely the burden she bears, a thing the rest of us know but prefer not to give words to. I am conflicted. I would like to comfort her if I could, but why do I feel this way? A pursuit of the traveler. Not even the arch-scribes know much of the old warns, but it is strongly implied they were not human and did not come from Earth, or at least not in the plane that humans occupy. Though the ancient missives in Snowdonia, when the Order was young, one could deduce that long ago, when humanity was in nascent stages, the old warriors came to Earth, either extraterrestrially or extra-dimensionally. During this time, the Never, or what the old warriors often referred to as the Traveler, ran rampant, unchecked along across the globe. Over time, the old warriors managed to confine the phenomenon of the Never to specific locations magically secluded from the rest of the world. The old warriors stood watch in these locations as human civilization sprung up around them. The warriors began to notice that many of the magical creatures of the world were drawn to these places, perhaps in an effort to flee the intrusive advancements of humanity around them. With the Never primarily choosing to feed on magical creatures, the old warriors realized these often helpless beings would need protection. By cosmic schedule, or far other reasons longer known to us, the old worms could not stay in our earthly plane forever, and knew that it would soon be time for them to move on. For this, they began to instruct gifted humans all over the world on their ways, teach them the secret locations cloistered away from the rest of the world, the magical creatures in their care, the dangers of the Never. Much later, these cells of new shepherds became unified under the Hermetic Order of the Verdant Shield, also known as the Green Shields. A lot of reading, bro. That was starting to hurt. Umbral Lethea. Within each chapter of the Deep Woods sits a dark place, kept from even the Green Witch, kept from us all. Her cataphalque will sit atop its entrance, a stone for her to one day inhabit, an extra measure to ensure that even in death, in the form she takes after, she will continue to dam the waters as the eternal guardian. Within Umbral Lethea, it is said as no green shield is permitted to enter. It is a pit lined and pierced with the ultimate sigils and protections of the old warren's mysterious magics. Beyond is the Never, where it sits crippled, reaching out with its mind and projecting foul extensions of itself on the surface once the sun's gaze fails. For Fionn. Your cautions against me doing this have been relentless. I am a fool, I know. I have been able to rest, will not be able to until this is done. I need to see it, to know. I like to think that I'm doing this for you, for the rest of us, for our unborn child. I'm coming back, I promise. Stirs, a traveler, restless. Below the barrier of the Greenwich catafalque lies Umbral Lethea, the prison proper of the Never. Upon entry to this hellish place, I am confronted by the sable steel, a large stone tablet with an ancient inscription upon it serving as a final warning to any that might pursue past its vigil. Though language etched into its black stone, the language of the old warrens, is now mostly lost to us. The ancient texts of Snowdonia provide translation that remains intact. Yearly beware and meddle not. Behind the ingot stirs a traveler, restless. His sakeless maw confined. His land is nowhere, its name is never. If only I could spy the Never, and its Stygian intangibility, perhaps more accurately describe it. Perhaps in defining it, I could glean some insight as how to better quell it. I have come this far. I could be the first to return. It is forbidden. Yeah, nothing reminds me. Yet, and that's the end of Big Pockets journal pages, man. Dang. A lot of stuff happened, huh? Make sure I read everything. Well, let's go Yeah, let's go over here and sleep. Say goodbye to our buddies. Farewell. Read all of the lost journals. Oh shoot. I don't see any campsite down here, right? Yeah, there you go. Go sleep. See if they have anything to say. Nothing, huh? Alright. Well, this is it. Alright, Bubbas. Oh, I want to line them up. Alright, everybody. Thank you for watching and being here for this journey. This has been The Wild at Hearts. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I see you again in my next series. Bye.